Who gives a
Thank you.
beep about Rosie O'Donnell?
I'll be the first one to say something, because I'm tired of seeing everybody make such a big deal about Rosie O'Donnell moving to Ireland. And trust me, I know there's a lot of Irish folks that don't like Rosie O'Donnell, and they don't like her politics. So her moving there, it's the same crap. She's going to deal with the same people there. And I know this because I talk to people in Ireland. And they know where I stand. I'm in the middle. I'm an independent. I think for myself, and I don't allow a particular political figure or party dictate whether I agree with them or not. If they say something I agree with it. If they say something I disagree with it. And you can like me or hate me, but just because we may agree or disagree doesn't mean that we have to be enemies. But anyways, I was an arrogant little teenager during that first election. And all I saw in my feed was her cussing people out. And mind you, I followed her on Twitter originally because she was on a game show where they asked about Colonel Sanders, and she made a funny comment. And I followed her. Colonel Sanders is my uncle, by the way. Well, she started saying a lot of hateful things online, and I decided, well, I'm going to be funny, and I'm going to make a stand-up comedian joke. Something I've heard other people say before. I thought it'd be funny to say online. Looking back at it now, it's not too funny, but it also didn't warrant a grown adult bullying a teenager online, or anyone else really. And that's where the hypocrite part comes in, because these people that claim to be all about love and acceptance and trying to turn people to the right ways bully folks who don't agree with them. And that's what she did. She bullied me. She cussed me out on Twitter in a very long thread, and she argued with me on Twitter, insulted how my grandparents raised me. I think she asked me if I was raised living under a rock, and I go, no, but I was raised by my grandparents, and I had cancer as a kid, so I guess you could consider that under a rock. I was just an arrogant little a-hole. Anyways, years later, I apologized. I made a video apologizing to her, and she flat out ignored it this time, but I guess that's the mentality. Somebody disagrees with you or says something you disagree with, you go and you hate on them, you hate on them, you hate on them. They apologize for it. You say you want to hear the apology from whoever, you want to see them do the right thing. They start to do the right thing, and you completely ignore it because you don't want that. You actually want the division. So I don't care that she moved to Ireland. I don't care what any celebrity does. You don't agree with the country? Fine, go live somewhere else. Great. I'm tired of seeing it displayed on every single social media app. People making such a big deal about it. I just don't care. You want to know what I care about? I care about the things that are right. Morally right. I care about my uncle's legacy, my family legacy, and upholding that online. I have grown a lot. I'm going to be 28 next month. I've grown a lot. I was a kid that was raised by his grandparents who had cancer when he was 8, that dealt with bullies his whole life. I have Asperger's. I've gone through a lot of things with that as a kid and growing up. And it took me until I got on TikTok about 4 years ago to mature from that and grow from that and get out of the mindset that people put you in when you're autistic and you have all these different disabilities and ailments where they bully you and put you down. It took me a lot to grow above that. And anybody that's been on my pages for the last 11 years has watched me grow. But hey, if she wants to move back to America, and yeah, I don't care. I don't know her personally. It doesn't affect my life any. Now, if you're going to tell me my grandfather's moving out of the country because he doesn't agree with the president or doesn't agree with the people or whatever, or policies of his government, then I'm going to be heartbroken over that. I'm going to be upset over that because that's somebody in my life. Rosie O'Donnell is not in my life. I had that one spat with her online for being an arrogant teenager, and it has not affected my life at all. A lot of things can be solved by turning your phone off and staying off of social media for a while, because in person, yeah, you see these protests here and there. You go to these rallies and things and you see people you don't like, people doing things you don't agree with, but you don't see the things that you can't stomach all the time in person. And now I'm speaking from my own experience. Some other people might live in an area where they absolutely do see that day to day. So I'm not discrediting your guys' experience, but the point is you see a lot more of it emphasized on social media, and then a lot of it could just be solved by literally turning your phone off and walking away and go outside and touch grass.